second floor with Ephesians 6, just to prove the case that there actually are unseen principalities. Satan, what was he? So as we are now coming closer here into your living room of your life, the kitchen, all up in your stuff, to the porch of your house, I'm going to show you how it goes from the second, right? You're single, a special someone comes in front of you, you ask the question, God, me, or Satan? And all throughout our lives, you'll be tempted with some different things. You'll have different thoughts. You'll have different opportunities. It is up to you on whether or not you choose to open. It'll be challenging. Growing up, I was taught certain knocks in the house. We went out for a walk, my wife and I, around the neighborhood. So my son opens the door, a 5-year-old of God. Here's what I mean. Lower your standards or your defense door. Satan can't make you do anything, especially if he does not know everything. Satan does not have the kind of power that we often give him. We fell in some area. Life after that failure is open the door to pride. Oh, you struggle with sexual morality? You open the door to that. You're insecure? Oh, yeah. You will forget the door that you opened up, and the enemy will have you focused on everything else. And while the demons are flowing in like a rushing wind, and by satanic, demonic, any other beast of the field, which means the serpent, remember, accuser, deceiver, means that he is crafty. So he comes in disguise knocks, so you don't notice his knock. He is crafty more than any other beast of the field that the Lord. I'm not going to tell you because you'll email me and you'll be mad. So I'm going to tell you. It doesn't really matter. He attacks the woman, and he comes to the woman, and I want you to see the first knocks to this woman who is made by God in the image of God, who is pursuing. He attacks her by tempting her. He knocks on the door with this subtle. Remember I said last week, and I showed you a picture. Did God really say that? Which means this. Now, did God really say that in life? When you are low emotionally, low spiritually, low physically, and he's like, now's the time to knock, because now you're weak. And he comes with a knock of doubt. Who God said he is. Let's doubt what God said. Let's doubt it all, because once the doubt creeps in, this is his plan. I want you to see this. There is a seed of doubt for you. And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees in the garden, but God said, you shall not eat of the fruit of the tree that is in the midst of the garden. Neither shall you touch it, lest you die. So the word of God says this. That is her foundation. So she's pushing. You will have thoughts. You ask yourself, is it God, me, or Satan? Negative thought about God. God will provide for me. God doesn't see me. God doesn't care. Or think about the person you can't stand today. It started with a thought and it's led to hate. Satan is able to make lies look like truth and unbelievers look like believers. So I ask you this today. What lies are you believing today? What lies about yourself? What lies about God? What lies about somebody else made in the image of God? 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4 says this, in their case, the God of this world has blinded the minds of the unbelievers to keep them from seeing the light of the gospel of the glory of Christ, who is the image of God. Here's what the enemy, a lot of times it's interesting. I love it and I don't mind it. I know many of you invite your friends to come to church. You need to be praying that the blinders that the enemy has blinded them with may be shifted up so that they can see the Word of God. Their ears may be open so they can hear the Word of God. Their heart may be softened so they can receive the Word of God. What you need to be praying is whatever area the enemy has on their lives, whatever stronghold, because here is the image of God. Hear me. The enemy has no sympathy for those that are made in the image of God, and his biggest goal is to, he knocks, we can open the door, and he wants, once this door is open, he wants to kill relationships, he wants to destroy marriages, he wants to destroy your image of yourself, he wants to destroy friendships, and destroy. He has no grace for you. Listen, every person in this room, the enemy hates you. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that, but he has a plan for children in foster care who are waiting in forever family. For children that have been placed in foster care, their desires to adoption is really cool. Over 40 years, Choices has been a trusted resource for young women, men, and babies in the greater Phoenix East and post-abortive trauma. Let me share my heart with you as a church. Every 34 seconds, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. The suicide rate is out the roof.